Hi Nandini, how are you?
Hi, sir. I'm good. How about you?
Good, good. Thank you for asking. So, can you tell us something about yourself?
Yes, sir. Myself, Nandini. I'm from Bangalore, Karnataka.
Mm.
I did my schooling and college in my native place.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. I have pursued B in computer science from KIT Tiptur, and I have totally 5.7 years of experience on software
Mm-hmm.
application testing.
Okay,
I work for both manual and automation testing.
okay,
Um, Currently, I am not working. I have 3 years of career gap. Once after my pregnancy, I
fine,
took a
fine.
break. Yes, it's all about my
Great, great.
introduction.
So, in a real-time interview, you can tell about your experience first. What were your roles
Okay.
and responsibilities? What did you do? Did you do automation? Did you use Selenium? Did you do API automation? Did you use Agile methodology? Those kind of things. Then education is not required. Native is also not required. How many years of experience you have? That is very important, right?
Okay.
That you have to tell. Okay.
Okay.
So that's an important thing. Fine. Okay. Now, can you tell me, do you know about Agile methodology?
Yes, sir.
Mm.
We have followed in agile methodology in
Mm.
our company.
Mm.
So in agile methodology, we used to have sprint planning meetings
Mm.
and daily stand-up meetings, then
Okay.
sprint review meetings.
Mm.
Also, at the end of the sprint, we do retrospective meetings.
Mm.
In sprint planning meetings, we will do a planning for our sprint, like
Mm.
what all the work we have to achieve in our coming sprint. So all those uh, uh, all those tasks we will be planned in a sprint planning meeting. We will discuss and plan the tasks. Then we will have daily stand-up meetings called scrum meetings. We will daily we have two scrum meetings, morning and evening. In scrum meetings, we used to update our status of the task. Is our task is going smoother or any obstacles we are facing. All those discussions we will do in the scrum meetings. Then we will do at the end of the sprint, we will do sprint review meeting. In sprint review meeting, we will demonstrate all our work, what are the work we have done for the sprint. We will demonstrate all those works in front of stakeholders, and also we will get a feedback for the tasks
Mm.
which we are done in the sprint. Then we will have uh, retrospective meeting. So
Mm.
in retrospective meeting, we will discuss about what went well, what are the improvements we can do, we can make in coming sprints. All those things we will discuss on the sprint retrospective meeting.
Okay. Fine.
Yes.
What is definition of
Also,
done? Yeah, please go ahead.
yes.
Mm.
Yes. Also in Agile methodology, requirements are not phrased. So, con- like
In
we
Agile methodology, you told about requirements.
not phrased. Continuous
Yeah,
requirement changes
yeah,
can
those are
come.
changing.
We
Yeah.
can, yeah, we can accept those requirement changes. We
Mm.
should work with those changes. And this is all about Agile methodologies.
Okay. What is definition of done?
Definition of
Done.
done.
Yeah. What is definition of done? Are you aware of
Sir,
the definition of
no,
done?
sir.
Hmm.
I don't know about that.
Okay, okay.
In Jira, we used done status.
Yeah, that is different.
Yes.
See, definition of done is actually the list of pointers or list of checkpoints, I would say, that a team creates. And on that basis, you will define any of the task as done. For example, as with respect to automation, they might keep, or with respect to any task, they might keep that the unit test case should be attached, the automation test cases should be attached, the test coverage should be attached, the test cases should be attached. So you can define such kind of parameters, such kind of checklist, such kind of list for all of the tasks in your Jira. Once
Mm.
all these parameters are met, then and then only you will be considering your task as done, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay. Let's say you are testing a user story in a sprint, and the scope of the user story or the functionality of the user story changes in between, right?
Mhm.
So, what would you do in this case?
Like what's
Hmm.
scope
Let's
or
say
how
you
it
are
is.
scope means, let's say you
Mm.
were testing a user story which was having three acceptance criteria. Point. Three acceptance criteria were there. But now, as per the client request, the fourth acceptance criteria has also been included. So the scope of storage got changed. The feature has got now much more to test compared to what earlier you were expecting it to test. So scope has got changed, right? Your task got changed in the middle of the sprint. So what will you do in this case?
We will discuss with our manager and team lead uh, for a for an extension of or time period or any extra resource they can provide us for our testing.
Sorry, can you please come again?
So we will discuss with our team lead or
Hmm.
test manager
Correct.
for enhancing the time period uh, or they will provide a extra resource to
Hmm.
help me out to cover all those extra work we need to cover
Hmm.
in the sprint.
Okay. So in this case, it is correct. You'll discuss with your leads. You can also inform the Scrum Master that there is a change in the testing effort. And accordingly, you can reprioritize your existing task, and you can connect with your lead as well as with your Scrum Master to decide what should be the priority. The changes that are done, that is the priority, or whatever the existing task that you had, that is the priority. Main thing over here is the transparency that we need to maintain. So as an professional, as an individual, when we are working in the team, the everyone's goals are attached to the sprint goal. So you need to be transparent and you need to tell them that this thing will need additional time, and you would need additional, maybe if required, you might need additional time or additional person or additional resource help, as you were mentioning, to make sure that you are able to commit the things, right? And you'll update the test case, you'll update the test plan, test strategy, whatever is required based on the changes that
Yes.
happen, right? Is this clear now?
Yes, sir.
Great. Okay. How do you handle defects that are found in the middle of the sprint?
It's, based on priority of the defect, severity of the defect, we'll consider the consideration. And firstly, when I got a defect, between the sprint. First, I will confirm the scenario and all those conditions and all those reference, and I'll first assign to the developer.
So you'll raise the
Then
defects. You'll raise the
I'll
defects.
raise the
Yeah.
defect.
If
Then we
those are
will discuss.
critical defects, you'll bring them to the surface. And this is a critical issue. There's a blocker
Yes,
issue that you have found.
yes,
Hmm.
based
Yeah.
on
What
criticality.
else? Hmm. Then what else? At the same time, if it's see, there are two kinds of defects that you'll find. If it's a higher priority, high severity defect, you'll raise the issue. If it's a low priority, low severity, you'll discuss with your leads and you'll mark them for the next sprint or maybe for the upcoming sprint. Depends on what is the severity, how much critical that defect is.
Yes,
Okay. What is the duration of the sprint that you are working in?
initially we used to have 2 weeks sprint.
Hmm.
And then recently
Hmm.
it will become a 1 week sprint.
Okay. Why it become 1 week all of a sudden? Was there any challenge in the 2 week sprint?
Yes, sir. Our test manager thought if we give 2 week sprint, some productivity will become very less because
Oh,
our company is small startup and the team is very small. So
okay.
they took decision for that, sir. If it
Mm.
is a 1 week sprint, then productivity of our team will be more. That's why they took decision.
Okay. So now your sprint duration is of 1 week only.
Yes,
That means 5 working days.
fiber. Yes.
Okay. Okay. What is burn down chart?
Um,
Hmm. Can take your time to think. It's related to Agile only.
yes, sir. Maybe it's about the uh, task we have achieved
Task we have
in
achieved
squad.
regarding
Regarding testing, sir.
not only testing, but overall, let it be
Oh,
development. So I'll share one diagram with you. Okay, is the screen visible?
yes, sir.
Let's say you have a sprint in which, as a team, you need to achieve 50 story points. So, what
Yes.
Scrum Master will do, they will track this entire thing. So, on the day one, it is 50 story points. Everyone will update their stories and their points that they have completed. So, on the day two, it will be 45, day three, 40, for example. Like this,
Mhm.
on the daily basis, the track of the story points is kept. Right. And on the last day, consider this is a 2 week sprint. So the working days would be 10. So on the
Yes.
last day, you would be having zero story points. That means nothing has got spillover.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's how the burn down chart is being tracked. Is it clear? Right?
Okay, sir.
You'll track the story points that your team has to complete. Simple.
Yes.
Great. Okay. What is velocity?
Velocity.
Hmm.
Sir, I didn't heard of it.
Okay, no problem. So let me tell you about this. So again, like a burn down chart, velocity. Okay, is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So velocity is what? Average number of story points that are completed by the team per sprint. So let's say you had sprint one, in which 40 story points committed, but 38 completed. Sprint two, 45 were committed, but 42 got completed. Sprint three, 50 points were committed, but completed but 46. So what we will do is we will add these three numbers divided by three. We have to find out the average. That means this team is capable of completing 42 story points per sprint. Right? This number will help the stakeholders or the management or the leadership team to ensure that how much work this team can handle in the future sprints.
Okay.
Right? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Great, great. Fine then. Let's move to the next question. Uh, okay, what is retrospective meeting?
Yes, sir. Retrospective meeting, we will discuss about our uh, task, how, what went well, uh, what can we improve in coming sprint, uh, what are the suggestions we can give to improve our task achievements, like users to achieve the more user stories.
Hmm.
So what are the improvements we can do? All those things we will discuss in the retrospective meeting.
So in the retrospective, you would be discussing like what went well, what
Yes.
could have been improved, what could have been corrected, what could have been additionally done, right? So it's a kind of improvement that you would like to see. And you'll also take into the consideration the good positive pointers along with you, like what did the team achieve, right? Those kind of points. Have you raised any point in the retrospective meeting which you would like to share with us?
Yes, sir. In
Mm,
retrospective meeting, actually, I was
mm,
yeah, told us one suggestion about like developers will used to leave bugs called they are very obvious issues, like they didn't do unit testing properly.
correct.
So they will tell we have done all the testing, and
Mm,
they will assign it was for testing.
mm,
So if I start testing, very obvious issues will come.
mhm,
So for that, we have discussed in a retrospective meeting, and I suggested that develop after completing their task, they
mm,
need to do unit testing with my test cases, like for any all the features I have already
mm,
wrote the test cases in the test case document. So they need to pick all those test cases, and they use, they have to execute test cases with the results. They has to put um, those those test cases into in Jira session.
in Jira. Okay, so you raised
Jira.
that point during the retrospective meeting.
Yes, sir. So so that we can know what are the scenarios they have tested.
Mm,
So they also know which are the test cases we need to check for our task.
mm,
Like that. When there was a developers or freshers, they don't know
mm.
what are the unit tests we need to do. So for them, it will be very helpful. Well, which is the one I suggested in the retrospective meeting.
Correct, correct, great. There's a good suggestion that you gave that the unit test cases were not written and you did not get the proper quality during the testing of the build, and you raised an issue. That's a good answer. Okay, let's move to the next question then. Okay. Let's say you are assigned a user story, but that user story is not clear, or let's say that user story is incomplete. So, what would you do in this scenario?
User story is not clear.
Yeah, it's not completed, it's not clear, right? You're not able to understand what testing needs to be done after going through that user story.
Okay. Then I will arrange a meeting with our
Hmm.
team lead and the product owner.
Hmm.
So we will discuss about that user story for the clarification.
Okay, okay. You'll have a discussion with them, and
Mm.
uh, like the test cases also. If you cannot start the test cases, what you can do is you can put down your questions or your queries in the comment section of the Jira ticket itself, right? You
Yes,
can also raise it in the stand-up meeting that this is a kind of not a concern, but it's a kind of an issue that you have. The story is not clear, so you cannot start
yes.
with it, right? So that's how you can do. Okay. How do you estimate task in the sprint?
Like for because I am a tester, I used to make multiple tasks for
Hmm.
the day, like writing test cases.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, I as such our company's startup, so I will be the responsible for uploading the latest build. For all those things, I will.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So how would you give the estimation? Can you please elaborate?
Like hours, how can.
Yeah. So how will you give the testing effort? How that
Mhm.
estimation is given during the sprint planning?
Okay, for I will make a task for um, test case writing
Hmm.
document. Test case document.
That's one of the activity. But how would you give the estimation?
In Jira, we used to add a story points.
Right. You will give the story point. So you will have to break down the activities, right? First activity is, for
Mm.
example, test case designing, then test data setup, execution of the test cases, retesting of the test cases if automation is to be done. So based on all of this points, so what you will do is you'll create such kind of a role, I would say a chart, or you can also track it in an Excel file. Let me show you how you can create it. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Noted.
Now is it
Yes,
visible?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So for example, what you can do is you can break down your user story into smaller testing tasks like test case design, test data setup, right?
Yes.
Execution, retesting, automation, right? And based on that, you'll give that maybe it will take 18 hours, so approximately 2 days. Now, another thing is that in a user story, just testing is not to be done. When you give the story points, it is end to end. The development is also there, testing is also there. So developers will also give their story points. You also will have to give your story points. So maybe developers will give two, you'll give two. So total might be four. So it's not a Fibonacci number. Either it will be three or it will be five, right? So based on your effort plus dev team effort, the story point would be given. Are you understanding my point? Because testing
Okay.
is not just your responsibility. In a user story, they are going to take
Mhm.
end-to-end coverage. They are going to cover it end-to-end, starting from the analysis to development, then testing, and then the sign-off,
Yes.
right? So that's how it would be happening. Okay. Now, can you tell me about the automation framework that you have worked on?
Yes, sir. We have worked for
Can you draw the
every
project structure?
project. Sir. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Can you draw it? Like, what do you have in SRC main Java? What do you have in SRC test Java? Can you share your screen once?
And
Whichever you are comfortable with.
I'm not comfortable with this. Can I explain?
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You can explain verbally as well.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, sir. In our framework, we have used Java as a programming language.
Hmm.
Then, um, then we have used wage object model design pattern.
Okay. Then what else?
In page object model design pattern, we have separate classes for each web pages.
Hmm.
Like in page object model design pattern, we
Hmm.
have page object classes for web page element to store the web page uh, element locators.
Hmm.
And we have separate test classes for each web page test case
Hmm.
execution. Also in web page classes will
Hmm.
store action methods. What are all actions we need to do for the test cases? All those
Hmm.
methods will store in the uh, page class.
Right.
Then we will have that we have used TestNG framework for our automation scripts. We use TestNG for grouping test cases,
Mm.
parallel for a parallel execution of test scripts with different browsers.
Okay.
So we have used assertions to validate the test case results.
What kind of assertions you are using?
Assert,
The two kinds of
sir.
assertions you have, right? So what kind of assertions you have used?
We have used assert dot uh, assertion of like actual. It will compare actual and uh, expected result.
Mm.
Those type of assertion we have used. So,
Okay, fine. And how about CI/CD?
yes, sir. For CI/CD, we have used Jenkins.
Mm-hmm.
Also for building and dependency management, we used Maven as a dependency management tool. Also, we have separate packages for test test classes and page classes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, all, all the test classes will come under test package. All the page classes will come under page package. Then we have screenshots.
Mm-hmm.
All the captured screenshots will stored in the separate folder. Then uh, screenshots which are captured for the failed test cases will be added to the extent report
Right. What else?
package. Then we have base class.
Mm-hmm.
In base class, we will store all the commonly used methods.
Mm-hmm.
So base class is also responsible for configure the uh, configure the informations from the config file.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. In config file, we will store the static information about uh, static information of the projects, like passwords and the username passwords, browser specific informations like version of the browser, which name of the browser. All those things we will store in the config file.
Okay.
Also, we'll store screenshot paths and file paths.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we want to use, if we want to test a upload file test case in our test scripts. So all those paths we'll store in the config file.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Also, we use the version control, but Bitbucket as the version control tool.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, Nandini, I'm done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, sir. About feedback.
Yeah. So it was a good interview. You were able to give the answers. Just take care of the burn down chart, the velocities there, and one or two questions were related to estimation. How do you give estimation? So that's important, right? So apart from that, questions. And if we see the number of questions, so first I started asking you, let me give you question by question update. Yeah, let me give you a detail.